Hello people of the internet, my name is Anton Suarez, and here I'm going to be showing you how to install Linux Mint 17. So Linux Mint 17 is a free Linux-based operating system which you can pick up from www.linuxmint.com under the download section, and here we go. So just go here, go to linuxmint.com, download Linux Mint. We have some different flavors of Linux Mint types. So we have XFCE, KDE, Cinnamon, and a few of these that I'm not sure. Little blurbs about each, what they support, multimedia, yes, no, yes, stuff like that. Some guides on how to do stuff in Linux. So pick from which kind of computer you have, 64-bit or 32-bit, and yeah. So once you do that, you can pick from either a mirror or a torrent download. Pick from which country you are in or in the area of. There's plenty of links to be downloaded from, even more down there. So pick the download you are most comfortable with and download it and burn it to a CD. Once you have the CD burned with Linux Mint or the distro of your choice, you can go navigate to your BIOS. Navigating to your BIOS, you'll either use the escape key, F12, F11, delete. One of those keys will activate your BIOS, which you'll be able to choose the boot device. Instead of booting directly into Windows, you can boot into the device that has your Linux Mint installation on it. So either the C drive or a USB stick. So here I'm going to continue booting, and we're going to be greeted with this screen. So here, if you want to just let it automatically boot, it will do so in 3 seconds, but we're going to stop that. So here is welcome to Linux Mint 17 Cinnamon 32-bit. You can then choose from starting Linux Mint normally or in compatibility mode if you're having trouble booting. If you're trying to debug a system and you're having problems booting, you can also do a memory test, which will see how your RAM is doing, and that it could be a problem. So we'll just launch Linux Mint, and we will get into the nitty-gritty of what this is all about. Alright, once booted into the operating system, you can either choose to install Linux Mint or play around with it and see how you like it. If you like it, then you can install it. If you don't, go burn a new CD or delete the content of your USB stick and start again. Find a different distro and try that one. So whatever you decide to do, it's your choice. Linux is great in any situation, in any distro you try. So the benefits of using Linux. Linux is free. That's the first giveaway, where you don't have to pay for it like Windows. You do. Linux Mint is especially good for if you want to learn the more technical side of how computers work. So say you wanted to learn how a terminal works. So terminal is a little different in Linux than it is in Windows. Terminal here is a lot more internet use, so you can do a lot more things in the internet. You can download files directly from the internet, from a link. You can do different things like that. And so a little example of that, you can do sudo apt-get update, and this will update your entire Linux system once you have it installed. So once it updates, any updates that are available in a repository will be updated immediately or semi-immediately. No restart required. Like Windows, you have to restart. You can update a graphics driver and you won't have to restart the computer. And you can see here that it's getting it from a certain link. So Linux is based off repositories. So say an update comes out, they'll upload it to the repository, and then when you do sudo apt-get update, you will get the update. And it's very simple that way. It makes life a lot easier. No thinking, oh, it's going to restart in 30 seconds. Better shut off all my programs. Also, Linux Mint comes preloaded with a bunch of applications, a bunch of really good applications. So you get terminal, text editors, graphics, you get GIMP, LibreDraw. Here's some internet, some chats, some torrent client, Firefox, Office. LibreOffice is a free alternative to like Microsoft's Word, Office, stuff like that. You can get all your needs. Also, it's pretty good, but I recommend using like a Google Drive. It's pretty much a main driver for anything like that. Some video players, disk burner, anything you really could think of is pretty much already built in to the Linux architecture and built in right when you're installing it. And this is true for mostly every distribution you're going to try. All programs are preloaded, so that's another plus. Not really if you want to get a system really fast up and running. You don't have to really think of, oh, I'm going to install this and this and this and this. Like Windows, you kind of have to do that. This, you can just slap the CD in, install it, and you'll be on your way. So once you've decided what you want to do with your Linux installation, you can go and click Install Linux Mint. Once you click this, you'll be presented with this little thing where you can click continue and pick your language necessary for you. It is recommended that you are connected to the internet, but is not necessary, and have at least 7.6 gigabytes available. That should not be a problem for most computers in the last like 10 years. So here's a kind of important part. Do you want to install it alongside something? So here is a test thing I was running already, so it's already installed a little bit kind of, or you want to erase the CD. I recommend that if you have Windows on the computer as well, you want to install alongside, which will you will be presented with a bootloader in the beginning of turning your computer on, where you can choose from Windows or Linux Mint. If you don't care, if the computer is wiped clean and you're starting fresh and you want to try Linux, you can go ahead and hit erase disk. So once you click install now, you'll be prompted with, I believe, location, or then you can choose where you are located at. Here we go, New York is correct. And let's see, English, the keyboard type, your keyboard layout, and your name. So we'll type this in, Linux tutorials. Right, and the password will be 1. Cool. So there you go. So now that will begin to install, and it will install in about, I want to say, 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast, I guess, your disk drive is, I believe. So yeah, that's basically how to install it. And once you get it up and running, I recommend running a few commands. So once you get your Linux Mint installation up and it's fully installed onto your hard drive, the first command you want to run is this. You're going to want to run sudo apt-get update. And all the documentation that I talk about right now, if you don't want to have to look at my video and then do it on yours, I'll have all the code up on my website, which is antonsoares.com, which will be in the link in the description below, where you can visit. And I'm going to have a bunch more tutorials up there as well, connected to YouTube. So the first command you're going to want to do is sudo apt-get update. Once you do that, it will update your computer with the latest and greatest packages. Because that we're still running in the virtual machine, it probably won't do as many updates as you will have. Depending on your internet connection, you might have more updates, or it'll take a little bit more time to update fully. See, like I explained before with Linux, you don't have to restart your computer. Once updates are done, they're done. You can continue on what you're doing. Installing a program on Linux Mint is even simpler, or for any Linux Debian distribution. So you're going to navigate to yourself to terminal. You're going to type in sudo apt-get install, and then enter the name of the program here. So that's either Chrome. There's different commands for each. So here we're going to have Chromium. So we'll type in Chromium. That's the certain command for Chromium, and you're going to press Y for accepting that. And this will go out to each of the packages and download the Chromium package. And that will take a few seconds, and we should have Chromium installed on your computer. Very simple on how to run, and there's many different ways to install programs. For Linux Mint, there's a thing called .deb. So if you look under Internet, we should have a Chromium client here now. There we go, Chromium BSU, which is an actual game. Alright, didn't expect that. Not going to question that. So yeah, there's gaming on Linux too, if you didn't know. Which we're doing now, it seems. I don't know. Okay, this is like a... Okay. Okay. We're gonna go with it. Sure. Yeah. I'm so done. Alright, so that is an example of installing something on Linux. I didn't expect that to be an actual game. I expected that to be the Chromium web browser for Chrome, but I will go with it. So, yes, installing something on Linux can be simple as that, including games. And I believe... do they have an app store here? Other distributions have app stores, so you can actually install. You don't even need the terminal. You can actually install through the app store, which is even better, and in some cases even simpler than Linux in general. But yeah, Linux is a very good operating system to run. Very good. It shows a glimpse of the future. A lot of industries are going to Linux. Believe most of the stock markets run on Linux now. People who are used to be running Windows servers. So they're going to be changing soon to Linux servers, because even though this may look kind of basic and as an interface, the back end of it, so behind everything, behind the user interface, the terminal, and how the system is being made and run, it's very efficient, very clean, and it performs things and sometimes much better than Windows, and it can perform very complicated tasks. I believe most of every supercomputer on the planet has a Linux running under the hood. So, kind of cool. you're making your computer like a supercomputer. And very good for running on old desktop PCs. If you have an old desktop, you can then throw Linux Mint on, and you'll be up and running in no time like I showed you. And yeah, it's really simple to run, and I hope you have as much fun with Linux as I have been for the last 3 years. So thank you for watching this video. I will have more tutorial videos on Linux. So if you have any problems, please put a comment down below. I will read it. I will contact you if you need any help with it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.